Good morning, my friends. We are back in the coffee shop, and after several weeks of, all kinds of stuff, we're back with a standard coffee talk. Guido coming at you from the left side of the Atlantic.
And it's Pilgrim. It's not Guido, it's Pilgrim coming from the correct side of the Atlantic with his cup of tea with no offers. You've missed out on all the offers, everybody. You should have got your hand in your pocket because there are no offers. You just get the bog standard mug from now on.
It's over. So, Stickler, thanks for the sub, man. Much appreciated. Randall's here, Gator, Wayne, Eighth Hussers. Diablo, how are you, man? We missed you yesterday. Oh, Brute Boss, and just around midnight. We could have used help. Actually, we had a good day. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right, wasn't it?
Wait a minute. He wasn't here, and we had a good day.
Yeah, that says everything, doesn't it?
Whoa. That ain't true.
Yeah.
That's not true. He's a good player.
No, it's not fair.
All right, cool. Here we are. Channel news. What do we got? Friday will be my next stream, guys. Streaming on Friday. So far, so good. That which shall remain unmentioned.
Eating all the wood in the house.
We're just trucking along, man. That's so weird to me. I mean, I guess it's not. That is one of the things they tell you to check, the BIOS.
Yes, but like we discussed it, would you not think that a good reputable dealer would give you a rig with the BIOS up to date? Would you not? $3,000. Would you not?
They just don't though, do they? They don't care.
They don't.
They take that thing out of the box, or however the guys get it when they get it wholesale, like they do. I assume it's in a box. They pull that thing out, they throw it in there, they put it together, they start it up. If it starts, they send it. That's all they do, I think. You know what I
mean? You know, a good company, high-end company, you would expect.
So the BIOS is whatever the manufacturer puts on it, / however old that thing is when it was built and sent. And I don't think I bet some of them, if they're good. But if you think about it, when you're putting something together, that takes some time. And then if you do all this updating stuff, that's more time. And they just want to get them done.
I would think they would put a caveat in the sales pitch or on the receipt. Please ensure you update BIOS before operating. Or something. But they don't even mention it. It's not part of the equation, is it? They just blue screen of death and they tell you, well, we'll send you a new one or whatever. Yeah.
Brute is all over ABS. He's like, those scumbags. I guess I sort of tend to agree with him right now. That's unfortunate, too, because it used to be, in my opinion, or at least from my research, it was known as a pretty good company.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
It's each to his own, isn't it, I guess? The company I get mine from, I've got it's called Medion, Medion. I've got an eraser from them, and touch wood, I've never had a problem with it.
Yeah. My son's is a Skytech. I think I may go that route next time if I buy another pre-built, but I probably, you'll never know what's going on with the economy and everything, but I'll probably build my own next time.
Ooh.
The one thing I don't like about it is I don't like the case. It's not a good case. I like the massive cases that are 4 times too big. Makes everything look small.
You talked you talked about having an open without a case, didn't you? You were going to build one into the desk or something.
I thought about that. I've seen those. They're kind of cool. People put them on their wall, and all their stuff is just out in the open right there.
Yeah.
Helps cooling. Yeah, just remember, I built my last 4, so I have 4 generations of built computers. In fact, there are 3 of them still 2 of them still in the house.
Oh wow!
Yeah, one of them's got a 960 or 980 in it, but it's everything's been pulled out of that except the graphics card. And my 1080 is still sitting over here in the room, off to the side. That's what I've been doing. But this time I bought my son. He would have got my 1080, which is good, but is a little long in the tooth for what he likes to do because he plays a lot of the other FPSs. So I bought him a pre-built 2080 from Skytech, which again, knock wood on that as well, has been doing really well. So, and then I'll send him off to college with that thing, and after that, it's up to him to buy a new computer.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Get a job, you bum.
For so long.
Get a job.
I tried that. I tried that. My
You tried
son's
it?
34 years old. He still knocks on the door saying, "Have you got anything in your wallet today, Dad?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't have anything in my wallet today."
They just take it out of my wallet on occasion,
Oh, did he?
and
Uh,
I'm pretty sure it's my wife that does that, but I know where it goes.
yeah.
So I'll just bebop down to the store, pull my wallet out. I think I have $30, $40 in there. Go. And it's the crickets.
Oh dear, oh dear. Sounds so similar. Sounds so similar. Oh dear.
Oh, Warhammer. There you go. That's cool, man. Wait, hold on. Are you saying you go in person and talk to people and play a game? That's
No.
what is up with that?
No.
That's great, man. That's great.
He needs counselling.
Yeah. We shouldn't be talking to real people. That's just crazy. It's better to yell at them on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can send messages and things and not
Nasty grounds.
be accountable for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, so reminder, guys, no coffee talk on the 10th and 17th of July. That's coming up. I will be actually on vacation from the 11th to the 26th of July. So there'll be a couple 3 weeks in there. I think that's actually more or less 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it. There'll be no streaming or any of that stuff for about 3 weeks. I'm in England for 2 of those, but I've got bookends where I took time off before and afterwards. So there will be videos. I'm planning on having enough videos set up for each day there. You'll have to deal without me. It'll be a good 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming over to dig my yard for me and do the grass because he's so good at mowing.
I'm bringing him a
special
yard
mower.
gnome.
Because I need somebody to do it.
Bringing him an
With a
American
special mower.
yard gnome. It's actually taller than Pilgrim.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
All right, cool. That's channel news. Nothing else really to report there. I am getting close to 100 battles in the K91. I have got better with it.
Yeah. You were
Occasionally,
close to 50, weren't you? Or you were.
well, I
at
got
50.
within 5, and I had probably won 6 in a row, or 6 or 7, or maybe I'd gone 6-1 or something like that. And then I had a bad streak, and I'm probably 6 battles out of 50% now.
Right.
But I'm about 2 or 3 battles from being at 100 battles, so I'll get it to 100 and probably put it away and maybe reattack it
Okay.
later.
Yeah.
It can be better than I thought, I guess. Is all I would say.
Well, yeah. I mean, there you go. Diablo's got.
That's because
obviously got
he's
the
taking
inside
some of
track.
my wins.
That's it.
I mean, if he would
Yeah.
just give me like 4%, well, maybe 6% of those wins, I'd be at 51%. He'd still be at 68, no skin off
Yeah.
his back. But he's kind of hoarding wins at 74%.
Well, and he's not going to do that because he talks to real people. You know what I mean? So you got no chance.
I'm right out. Right
Yeah.
out. All right, cool. Missions and specials. What do we got? Well, I don't know. The code is new map who dis.
This. Yeah.
An extra D on there I don't need. And that will get you a T-77 of all things. We watched several T-77 games yesterday.
We did.
I'll put this in the chat for you guys. That's it right there. So T-77, the standard Commander AF missions and stuff like that. And such and so forth and so on. Let's go over and check out. I was not ready for this. Here we go. Am I ever though? Really? At the end of the day?
No, we don't.
There it is.
We don't need to be ready.
There it is.
There it is. There it is.
Premium shop. Get it out, folks. Come on. Get ready. Get the hype.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Get
Here
the
we
hype.
go.
All right. Truth be told, there's a lot of good tanks for sale if you are still in the buying mood.
Indeed. Yes.
If you are still in the buying mood, you can get this amazing Panzer 38H. No, don't get this. Well, you could, but it's tier 2. So.
Yeah.
And then I thought this was new, but apparently this was given away a while back as a gift or some such thing, or maybe it was in a box. Maybe it was Christmas boxes, I guess. But this little tier 2 wheeled tank, it's the only wheeled tank at tier 2. I had no idea this thing was here. Hello, Tac Crows, how are you? Bogey's here. World of Warships,
Ooh,
grinding some
bogey.
captains. I got stuck in 2 1-win, 10-loss sessions in a row. Yeesh.
Ooh, that's nasty. That is nasty.
You should get the wheel tank if you don't have it, or are you talking about the 38H 735? This is actually fairly good. That's not the Minnie Mouse one, is it? Is that the Minnie Mouse one?
You know what? I don't know. It could well be. Is it?
Oh, one I'll get to at the bottom. Okay, let's see if we can figure out which one he's talking about. The AMX is actually pretty good. It has decent stats. It's near the top. I would say it's top 10 easily, sometimes top 5 for tier 8 premiums. This is really a much better tank, I think, than some people think. The 131, or the Tiger 131 Tank Fest kind of tank is there. That's a tier 6 Tiger, which is pretty good. Also, the Panzer 58. Is there one of those at Tank Fest? I'm kind of figuring these are tanks that are at Tank Fest, but I don't know.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think.
Is there an example of some kind of Panzer 58 at Tank Fest? I know the Tog's there, right?
Yeah, the Tog's definitely there.
It's in the museum. I don't know if it's running, but it's in there.
Yeah.
And then maybe there's
the
an
Yak Tiger is there. Definitely.
Is there?
Yeah.
Cool.
But I don't know about the French tanks. I don't know.
Danum says that tier 2 wheelie is hilarious. Do I have that thing?
I think I've got it somewhere. I think I have got it, and I think I have played it quite enjoyably for a wheeled tank. I was like,
Tier 2 French. Yep, Gendron Somoa. I don't have it set up for anything, but all right. Well, there you go. Cool. Maybe we'll have to try that on stream someday. Rage around on that thing.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then you got the Renagadi in there and all sorts as well.
Yeah, look at this. So, well, you can spend a bunch of money on these ×5 things.
Yeah.
Pilot 1, not great. Type 62 is a great little scout. We have all kinds of different packages. The Basante. Oh, I think that's the one Diablo's talking about. Is that the one you're talking about, Diablo? I think it was Diablo was talking about how good the Basante is, I think.
Definitely get it if you don't have it. Yeah, Basante's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Of course, you've got the Scorp and some other cats and dogs. The Renegade is one of those kind of must-haves. That's a good tank.
Yeah.
There's a better tank, huh? Renegade? That's the only one I can come up with. You must be talking about the Renegade.
Yeah, I would say the Renegade.
Yeah, this is one of the best heavies in the game. Yeah. Or is it? I don't know. Let's find something out here. What we got?
Yeah, stick it in and find out. For me, it makes me look good.
Can I get a so to speak on that? All right. Yep, there you go. So win rate, number 5. DPG, number 5. Frags. Drops down a little bit. But remember, this is a tank that gets played a lot, right? So if we go to win rate, is there anything played? Yeah, the Skoda obviously is very strong. The rest of these tanks that are above it aren't played very much, but it's played quite a bit, and it still does well. So that's absolutely a solid tank for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's, hey, Ketch, thanks for the sub, man. 22 months. The Renegade's just solid all around, though, and it's somewhat forgiving. It's got pretty decent armor, not amazing. Got a decent turret. The tumor's a bit of a problem, but the gun's good. I mean, just good depression. Everything about it just works.
It makes me look good,
yeah.
Which is why I play it.
Yeah.
I think I've got something like a 64% win rate in it, so it makes me look very good.
For the rest of the vehicles, what we got going on here? All the same stuff. I don't think there's anything new under vehicles.
Yeah, it's pretty standard once you roll down.
But there's just a lot of good vehicles for sale. The Scorpion's for sale, the Renegade, the 5.1. The Lanson's good if you like speed.
Yeah.
Stay away from the T27. It's not great. 50 TP is out there as well. Lots of good tanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 1 player NA. Excellent.
If you've got there you go. If you've got coupons, it's even better. I mean, you saying you got 30%? I've got 20% discount coupon. So
it's the Renegade. No, it's not so hot. Where's the lowest price? So we got the Renegade here for 34. And I think I have a third. Oh, it's already minus 15. So I don't think I can.
Oh, it
No,
won't let you
nah,
buy,
no
will it?
coupon. It's already discounted 15%.
Yeah.
That's how they cut you off at the knees with those things.
Basante is though. You can do the Basante standard package.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you do the standard package, it's no discount on it.
Oh,
so
there you go.
Can use your
There
20%.
you go. So if I have a 30%, what does that do to it? Let's find out. 30% of 45. $9 off and $10 off, something like that.
Yeah.
Coupon. Oh, it only lets me use the 10%er? Boo.
Ooh.
Why is that? What? Where's my
That's a bit
coupons? Do I
naughty.
not have them anymore? Let's see what the caveat is on the 30%er. Packages above 30. On vehicle only and what? Does not include special offers.
Oh wow, man! Wow. That is what they could term as an Indian giving, isn't it?
You and I talked about at the beginning that we didn't have a whole lot to talk about today, but wargaming is the gift that keeps on giving when it comes to this kind of stuff. The gift, what? So this is
my coupon's like yours. My coupon is only applicable to the standard tanks that they sell every week.
there. It is.
Nothing else.
See the
Nothing
red.
else.
See the red banner.
Yeah.
Special offer. Sorry,
yeah.
coupon does not apply
Yeah.
to special offers. That's why they have all these different categories that are essentially the same thing. Featured, vehicles, and specials. You find almost exact, not always, but in terms of vehicles wise, it's almost always the same vehicles in all three of those.
Yeah.
And then you have to do this. Dude.
The struggle. Isn't
At
it?
least it's written. At least it's actually. You have to search around for it and try to figure out what the hell is going on. But at least it's
Yeah.
advertised. I'll give them that much.
Yeah. But it is disappointing, isn't it? Because if I particularly wanted a Renegade, I would go, oh, coupon, great. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. No.
Well, just around midnight, if we had. If we had a pixel pipeline, we'd have pixels flowing down from Canada like crazy. No, I don't want to get into all that. I don't want to get into that. All right, that's enough of that.
Enough of that.
Drilling for pixels. We would just be awash in pixels.
Bit of fracking.
Oh man, that's right. Fracking for pixels. There's pixels trapped in in the rock. We could.
Yeah. We can frack for them.
It's just a fracking good time, man. You know what I mean?
It is a fracking good time, yeah. Drill a hole, squirt some water in. It's a fracking good time.
Yeah, and all the pixels just bubble up to the top. And you can form them into basantes for everybody. Everybody would have a basante in their garage.
Yes, and free healthcare.
And probably two, his and hers.
Yeah.
A pink basante.
His and hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hers would never get taken. Hers would never go out anywhere, though, would it?
Yeah, but it'd have dents all. It would have dents all over it somehow.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Oh dear.
Oh, this just turned
Keep the
into
door shut.
misogyny channel. Sorry, ladies, I'm just kidding.
If I see this go off, I know she's listening.
Oh, right. That's the.
Starts doing that.
That's the alert. So.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the asking her to wear a bell was right out, so you went with that other thing.
You wouldn't have it. Yeah, she said, "I'm not a cow." I said,
"All right." To be fair, I was more thinking a cat, not a cow. You went there, not me. That was not.
I went there. Yeah.
No. Yeah. All right. First time chat, lazy general. Basante in every garage and EBR in every pod. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
An artillery propping the door open.
An artillery door stop is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day when everybody had a WT,
a
Waffentrager with
Yeah,
a 6-shot autoloader.
Remember them?
Yeah,
They were the days. That's
Everyone-
when I was an 84% player.
that's right. That's right. Before the government came in and stopped all that from happening.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what else we got going on here? I think we've done enough of that. I think here's something that's sort of interesting to me anyway. As I was getting ready for this event we have on Sunday, I typically go right there and I look at the different articles Wargaming has put out and see what's going on. And it struck me that almost every one of these is a sale.
Right.
So Prime,
Okay.
sort of a sale.
Yeah.
Super sale. Tactical Tuesday sale. 3D Styles sale. Worldwide Tank Trio sale. That's
It is, isn't it?
over half of
Yeah,
that
it
is some kind of hyping for another site that wants your money or a sale of some kind. There is the common testing. We will get to that. So we got a new common test coming out with some things. There is the TankFest Twitch thing, guys, and it starts at 2 your time. Is that right?
Yeah, it's I think
This
if
is
I'm right,
30
it's,
minutes?
yeah, it's 0800 Central. I think.
Okay, so 40 minutes, guys. So if you want to click, I mean, you can leave here if you want. It's not a bad idea, really, at the end of the day. But open up another tab. Go to, in 40 minutes, go to the TankFest stream, which is on the Wargaming channel. You can mute that tab. Remember, don't slide your volume down or you won't get credit. So you want your volume up, but mute the tab up at the whatever software you're using to go to the interweb highway net. Should be able to mute the tab, and then you can have that go in the background and be cranking out, or go watch it, or whatever you want to do. So we got that going on. Prime Gaming is back. Make sure that you link your Twitch. I think it's Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm getting
Twitch.
it mixed up.
Is it Twitch Prime?
Yeah, you're going to link Twitch and Prime Gaming.
Yeah.
No.
No.
World of Tanks.
No.
World of Tanks
World of
and
Tanks.
Prime Gaming.
Prime
Yeah.
Gaming. Yes, absolutely.
World of Tanks and Prime Gaming, so that you get your goodies.
Get your goodies.
I don't think there was a commander this time.
Oh,
Well,
isn't it?
Wayne, there is that, and there are wardrobe changes, so and then you can spend money to make that happen. I don't know. I don't get that, but there you go. It happens. All right, cool. What else we
My
got?
BMW is watching from Melbourne, Australia. Another colonial, but a convict type colonial. Welcome.
Hello to Australia, down under. How's everything going? It's winter down there, right? Yeah, absolutely winter down there.
Yeah, it's
It's getting to the heart of
I don't
winter,
know.
right?
Yeah, no, Australia's in winter, isn't it?
Yeah, so June, July, August,
there
are
you
those
go.
the coldest months? I don't know if they are. Mosdeb, what's going on? Hi, everyone. 2 cents yesterday's Wargame stream. I had it muted on the stream itself and still counted and got the drops. Okay, well, there you go. There's a data point. I was not aware. Good. Excellent. Let's go over to missions and specials. Hey, guys, I bought that. What is
You
it?
did.
I bought the
Commander.
Yeah, the commander. So I bought a commander. So I am now one of those kind of people. And I bought some bonds, and I bought, gold. You buy gold all the time.
Yeah.
But what it looks like is this battle pass mission here, and here's all the stuff that you get for that particular mission. So you're going to get some gold, some bonds, you get the commander. You have to play one battle, which I did the first thing. You can see, actually, I guess that one went, did it go away? I think it did go away. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it just went away. So you play a battle,
Yeah.
it gives you the commander, and then you're off to the races on the rest of these things. You have until something like 10 days past the end of Battle Pass, I believe, as I read it, something like that. So you got to get on it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, though.
Yeah. No.
So I've got
No.
get some, and it's cumulative. So base experience, damage cost 10,000, destroy 5 vehicles. I've completed 1 of 5, and then top 10. So you crank through it pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, it's not easy peasy, but it's not difficult.
The stock market is down so far. Spending money on what seems like a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inflation.
You can lose money in the stock market, or you can just throw it away at World of Tanks.
Yeah. But you actually gain something in World of Tanks, don't you? You get like the rights to use a pixelated tank on their game
until the
for
game
however
no
long
longer
they decide. Yeah,
until the game no longer exists. Yeah, which could be
depreciating asset.
which could be yesterday.
It could be. This could be its final flourish.
Mosdeb, I haven't heard anything on the next top of the tree. On track,
Right.
I have not.
Although the whole of the German tech tree is discounted at the moment, isn't it? So there's always that. If you're trying to get your E50M or whatever it is, I think that's on track, is it not? That line,
Let's find
I
out.
think. Yeah.
I thought the 100 was, although I have them all, so maybe I don't show the discount on them.
Could have been the
Probably not.
100, yeah.
Well, actually, let's just go back to missions and we'll find out, because we'll find out. The
Yeah,
Sheridan's
we'll
on
find
track,
Right.
and there's Tank Fest missions, by the way, so another day of that to knock out. Looks like that's all experience stuff, which is fine and nice. Really nice, actually, if you think about it now. I used to kind of scoff those, but if you are doing field mods for your tanks, pay attention to that stuff, because those chunks right there,
Yeah.
when you trip it, it's going to go to that tank, and that's nice. I mean, 12,000. Say you're doing a tier 10, which takes what, 22,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's a good chunk for a tier 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the Synth Waves, which is the Prime Gaming thing, and that looks like a lot of kits and things like that. Remember, folks, when you do the Synth Waves, 28,000 Zimbo, thank you. When you do the Synth Waves thing, you have to go to your depot. Go here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And
To
there'll be
claim it,
another
yeah.
box for Synth Waves. I already did mine, but you have to claim a couple of the things. I don't know why. I don't know.
She swallowed the fly.
I don't know why it just doesn't automatically happen, but they've built it that way. You have to do a couple more clicks because they love it. They love the clicks.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Perhaps they're secret artillery players. You never know, do you? At Wargaming.
And I've been grabbing these Twitch drops things. Now that's the Twitch drops campaign, the weekly ones with also the weekend thing thrown on them. Each week they reset, and I've grabbed a bunch of stuff from this. Now I'm not I don't need any of the rentals or the tanks because I have them all, and I don't need more premium time. But I really don't need any styles. But these things here, I've been cranking through, getting the extra personal reserves, getting all the consumables that you can get. If you have been watching Twitch, or doing that, just remember you got to go in here to get your stuff. And looks like I've got 3 coins now, and I've got to wait to get more. But it's been
Tokens and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You've just got to go and click on it. haven't
yeah.
you?
Get in there and get it. Don't forget those guys. Let's see. So Sheridan, is there only one Tank Fest? We talked about that. Synth Waves, E100. So it is the E100. And the Commander AF thing is Cola. Looks like, and Decals with a chain.
Oh,
Kinky. All right. All right. There you go.
there you are. Throwing the shade today. There you go.
Are you tossing shade, my friend?
Looks that way.
Okay. Looks that way. I don't know. It looks that way. Moss has been on a tank spending spree due to the discounts, so went through all the lines to see what would suit me, and there you go.
Yeah, somebody. Who was it? The check line. Moss was saying the check line's not on discount,
Oh,
which is a
Zimbos.
shame because that's a good line.
Which one's not on discount?
The Czechoslovakian.
Oh, the last 2 that came out, have they done that thing again? Remember
Yeah,
they
2
did that
new.
last time. Yeah, they did
Yeah.
that last time. The 2 newest ones they would not discount. Well, let's see that because I didn't actually look at that. We'll go back over to the website here.
While you're doing that, Indigo says he came to watch for 30 minutes. He's hoping to get the Beta Sherman from the Tankfest stream. Good luck on that one, mate.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. You have to be there to win. Are they trying to compete with me?
Yeah, I think they are. They're not on yet.
What? Trying to compete
Can't
with
see it
me? All
How
right.
dare they?
What do we got? We got. So 30 minutes, you're going to get some goodies. 60 minutes, you're going to get mystery drops. One of the following is guaranteed: an LAS, and then of course most people are going to get the 1 day. That's cool though. You get a day of premium. All right, that's fine. Then you have a shot at an E25 or an LT432. That's pretty cool.
Mm,
Or 9 camouflage tank. Everyone's getting this.
yeah.
Virtually everyone will get that. All right, 120 minutes. Ooh, a Barask, a Dicker, a 59G. But they just love giving out that G now.
59G.
G, yeah. Oh, Pilgrim, your chance, my friend.
Ooh, yes,
chance.
indeedy.
All right, mods, Pilgrim, me, everybody, help us make sure that we give a countdown when this thing's starting so everybody can dive in. Are they going to go 120 minutes or is it going to be longer?
I didn't read that, actually.
It's going to go from 8. Nope, it's going 4 hours. So, perfect.
Cool.
The max thing is 120. So, make sure you start. Cool. And then the discounts are, we got a ×5, as you can probably see in the garage. We got some customizations. Garage slots are discounted. Okay, all the tanks are discounted. Excluded check, as you guys noted, and the Yo tanks. Yep, so the last 2 lines are not discounted. And that's it. So there's no crew stuff or anything cool like that. These are decent deals for a little bit of premium.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Save some gold. And then there's missions, as we've seen.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. All right, so we'll make sure everybody gets set up for the...
We'll do the count-in as soon as we can see
For
it
the
start to
stream.
happen.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Although I suppose you
I've
could
got it-
just
I've
go
got it
turn it on
running in
now,
the
right? Can you? Get
Yeah, I've
there
got it
now?
on the background. I've got it running on the background. I've done another tab now. So I'll see it straight away.
Is it which World of Tanks is it?
It's the EU one. So if you go, I mean, you can go back to the website and just click on the link, and it takes you to the EU stream.
Oh, the website will do it. Okay, good enough. Not bad. There it is. Well, that would be the easy way to do it.
Of course.
Easy way.
That's the way I did it.
Easy way, my ass. All right. Gonna mute that dude. There we go. Oh, they're actually up and going. At least it seems like it is. Why can't I get to?
Well, they've got the banner, but they haven't.
I see a
not
guy
actually-
there yapping away.
Really? I haven't.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is.
Oh, okay. No, it's playing from yesterday.
Oh,
Whatever
that's
it
just
was.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's trying to trick me. All right, cool. Yesterday.
Doesn't take much to trick you, does it?
Yesterday, all my troubles seem to.
Far away.
What is that line? All my troubles seemed far away. So far
No,
away.
seemed so far away.
So far away. I was thinking of seem
Because I
to,
believe in whatever it was.
seem to fall away.
Yeah.
El Skinto says so far away. Seems so far away. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what
Yeah, we
else?
got it.
How many Object 780s are left, Pilgrim? Can you check that?
I can check.
Are you in
but,
your NA account?
I am. Hang on.
Anybody know? Are
Because
the non-numbered
as of
ones
yesterday-
still rarer than the numbered ones in NA? That's what's left. How many were there to begin with? 13,000, is that right?
Yeah, there was. I want to say 7,000. Oh no, I think it was 8,000 something, wasn't it? 8,000 taxis, and then the remainder not taxis. Was it?
Yeah, 7,000 taxis. MC Garrett, thanks, man. I try. I can't sing, but I love music. I like the lyrics. Good morning, confused tuna. Now I'm confused. So 7K, that means 13. There's 6,000 left. So they're about as rare as each other then at this point, right? Math in public. If there's 6,000 left, they've sold 7K of the non-numbered, roughly.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the Who, kid. You got it. Yeah. Or perhaps the Beatles.
Yeah.
The
Beetlejuice.
Beatles. The Beatles.
Yeah. The Beatles.
The Beatles.
Diablo got a numbered one. He's like number 7 or something, Diablo, isn't he? I seem to remember. A really low number.
What is your
Because he
number,
stayed up
Diablo?
all night. It was, wasn't it? Really low. Come on, Diablo. It was really low. There you go,
238. Very
238.
nice.
He stayed up all night for that.
Mel Deeth says wasn't worth the investment. I just had stuff laying around. We talked about it last week. It really just depends, you know. Did you have all the stuff laying around, or are you digging around and selling stuff, or, God forbid, paying $200 for a pixel tank? Which great. I mean, if you've got that kind of If you've got that
Well, if
kind
you're rich and you
of,
want to throw money at it, yeah, why not?
yeah, I mean, if you've got that kind of cabbage, go for it.
Crikey, that's like a year's groceries for me.
It is interesting, El Skinto. That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
It was very expensive when you consider the amount of time it took to build that stuff up. But once you played the game that long and built it up, what are you waiting for? I mean, you like if you're waiting to with all that free experience to go through a bunch of lines, noted. At which point you probably wouldn't use it to get a 780.
Yeah.
But if you've got all the lines done like I do, who've been playing for 10 years, and you still had that much free experience laying around,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with it?
But it hasn't, in real terms, it hasn't cost you anything to get that. So it's not going to cost you anything to put
Yeah.
it against the
I mean, that's sunk cost. You've already put that time into the game. It's not like you're going to monetize that 800,000 experience into anything else,
Yeah, yeah.
unless it's some kind of in-game content. So whether it's a single tank or you're going to unlock a bunch of lines, whatever floats your boat and makes you happy, go for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah.
you're not that's not getting back. That's not any kind of investment that you can then
No,
that
it's
you
not.
can liquidate other than for some kind of in-game content. And then you have to do your decision on whether it's worth it in-game to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of, there's a lot of opinions on it. They're saying if it was that good a tank and so on and so on. I think there's, you can put a lot of the resources into it and not enjoy it. And what's the point in that?
Well, Caduceus, some people didn't have to do that. I hear what you're saying. You could obviously convert for gold. So yes, then you're starting to talk about sometimes real world money. I mean, where'd you get the gold? Some people win gold. So I mean, there's so much to it, really.
Yeah.
I think.
to come back to what I said, I had sort of enough-ish resources as long as I spent gold. I'll have it. I'm not buying gold to buy this tank.
Yeah.
I can't do it with what I've got. I'm not getting it.
But I'm with you, Diablo, and I that was my call initially. I did a video on just the basics of it. I will do a video review of it here in a little while, but that was my call that it is average to it was slightly above average to above average. And I think the numbers, let's take a look at it now. We've got another week under our belt. Let's see what it's looking like now. And again, you can't draw too much from this early of numbers, but where is it sitting? I'll bring this up. Win rate, I think it's dropped a little bit, but it's still in the top 10. DPG, still in the top 10. Frags, dropped down a bit. Damage ratio, so it's top 10.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was never going to be the T95 Chieftain,
but
it holds its own.
But it's played a lot, so you got to bring that into it as well.
Yeah,
It's actually its battle count is very high. It's a new tank. A lot of people want to buy it or want to play it. But what that means is that it's played by a wide variety and a lot of people, and it's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And people like I hear the chat. People saying it's good, not great. But what is your definition of great? Amongst tier 10s, it's in the top 10. And slightly higher, really, than that, and sitting at 6 and 7 and 5 and stuff like that on rankings. So, with a lot of battles played, so it's pretty good. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is solid, bordering on very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
confused tuner. I get that. You're seeing less and less of them in game, so it's definitely not OP. And I don't think it is OP. I just think it's a good tank, good solid tank, like Elskinto says. But also, don't forget that if you've used your resources to get it, you've probably got a few years under your belt in this game to have enough resources to do it.
Yeah.
So you're going to get the better players getting it anyway. On odds, the odds are that the better players have probably got it. The newer players wouldn't have had the resources to get it. I'm just making an assumption on that.
And it's surviving well, which means the armor is holding up pretty good.
Right. Okay.
So it's not bad at all. I think it's a good tank. I'm not saying it's gonna.
Yeah.
It's not challenging the 279 or the Chieftain. or even
No,
but it's
279
it's just
Chieftain. They're
it's
yeah,
coming
they're-
right in behind the VZ and the 260. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
that's
well,
not,
that's a good tank.
It's not
That's
bad,
a good
man.
tank. Then. Yeah, absolutely.
Not bad.
Absolutely. 279 and T95 Chieftain are in their own stratospheric level. You know what I mean? They're just completely.
Well, this is one of the more ridiculous numbers in the game.
Yeah.
Look at the win rate on the 279 early. It's just what an outlier that is. 59.62%.
Yeah.
I was actually doing the sorts on this thing by every tank a while back. I was trying to find. There we go. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So these are all low tier stuff. Charlemagne's at 58, but there's the 279 early. You know, the Skoda's past it. 6501 is played 15 times, so whatever. That's the Minnie Mouse, I guess, or one of these is the Minnie Mouse. These are just ridiculous. The 5.4 is insane.
Yeah.
And it's actually played a lot, but the 279 early is vying for best tank in the game.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Where were we, man? I don't know.
Well, we were sort of very quickly sliding towards subjects du jour. Because
We are, yeah.
There's an awful lot. Yeah, there's an awful lot. Because of Tank Fest and everything else that's going on, I think Wargaming there's not much out there at the moment, is there?
You do have to, well, El Skinto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or alternately, you buy it.
Yeah, or there are means and ways of getting that without doing a damn thing other than open your wallet.
Subjects du jour. Here's a subject. Yesterday, I wish I could remember his name because I would go take him off my blacklist, but I snapped yesterday. We did the stream for 4 or 5 hours, and then I went and did some other things.
Yeah.
And I came back and I played a few games. Got into a game in my, I think it was the K91 PT. And what map was it? It was an E100. It was camping in the back. I wish I could remember what map it was because I would describe to you where he was sitting. Oh,
It wasn't like
no, it was Oaks.
Yeah, that one. Oakdorf.
Oaksdorf. Is it
Yeah.
called Oaks? I think it's called Oaks. With the
Yeah.
train tracks and the city. Live Oaks. Thank you,
Yeah.
El Skinto.
Live Oaks, yeah.
Well played, sir. Live Oaks.
Yeah.
And he was sitting, you know where the little buildings are from I don't remember which, I think it's the north spawn. And there's some trees and a little building where TDs
Yeah.
like to hang out.
Yeah.
E100 was sitting there.
All on his own.
Yeah.
Not platooned up with another E100.
Well, that would have
But
been
all
even
on his
worse.
own.
That would have been
Was he
even
hiding?
worse. That would have
Is
sucked
he
even.
hiding his big tank?
He was in the TD sniper spot with an E100.
Cool. Perhaps he went off to make a cup of tea and just never got anywhere. You don't know. Or maybe
It was
played
Saturday
well.
night.
Well,
He was like a 50% player, but when I looked at it, it was only because he was a not very good seal clubber with seal clubbing tanks with thousands and thousands of battles at like 52 and 53%.
really?
Yeah.
But he knew where to be. He knew his E100 had to be there, just in case, whatever. Oh, at least he didn't drown.
Those are tough, and it's the only time where I actually sometimes wish I had XVM. So if I saw that, I could sort of. Although I probably wouldn't. I would not have known that. I would have seen a 51% player and went, well.
Yeah, he would have been color coded.
I would have said, hey, he's okay. He's fine. He's going to be able to help us. He was not able to help us.
No. Lazy General finished the Battle Pass chapter for the first time in account history.
Congrats.
Congratulations, mate. Yeah, cool.
Nice. Is that because you've been lazy?
No,
Careful, you're
Well,
gonna lose your moniker.
yeah, he's a general, so you can
Yeah.
see why he's lazy.
Oh man, I am always lazy. Yeah, Terry. I was actually thinking when I was talking about that, I said, wait a minute, was that the T95 I'm talking about? But it was the same situation. The T95 that sat there in that little cubby the whole time. And I think he was a SEAL clubber too. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a SEAL clubber too. Had a bunch of battles in tanks and was not very good.
Did we check out the IS driver who drowned, the last one on Lakeville?
We
check him out? I can't
we
remember.
did. Same thing,
didn't we?
Yeah, and I put him on the blacklist.
You put him on the blacklist, didn't you? Yeah. He was my extra damage, and he decided to not let me farm him.
Yeah, XVM should have been. They should allow people to block XVM as opposed to have anonymized names. Just block XVM for your account. Your numbers no longer go to XVM. Although that's backdoor stuff because they actually just pull that from the public API stuff that Wargaming.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to.
But in game, so that you can't. Yeah. It doesn't. They don't get the info in game.
Yeah. Diablo's a SEAL clubber. Yeah, we've noticed your gameplay when we platooned with the Diablo. Yes, we have noticed that.
Well, Diablo, that's just pure numbers thing, really. I mean, I don't really see. I don't see use of anonymous out of. How do I want to put this? I don't see it primarily good or primarily bad, or how do I explain this? It looks like there's more bad players, but there are more bad players. You know what I'm saying? So you're more likely to find a bad player with anonymous on, but I don't find that out of sorts with the standard numbers. Like I don't see 30 bad players for every one good player, and I see plenty of medium players as well, like average players. So it seems to run the gamut. It doesn't have. I don't think it has a lot to do with skill. Let me put it that way.
No.
It's just.
I think. I mean, the only people it actually has any sort of benefit for, in my eyes, are the top level streamers. You know, the quickie babies and the skills that just don't want to be targeted because of their name. But there's very few of them.
See, we've talked about this multiple times. My view is bring it. Now, I'm not on their level. I got it. I'm not near as famous. I'm not famous at all. But I do get recognized on occasion, once every 40 games, maybe 50, 100, 1,000. I don't know. But for me, it's advertisement. Like, because the most things I get is, hey, are you the Guido that does the YouTube videos? And I'm like, yes. And I love it if you guys want to come at me. You know, we've done that on stream. People have timed in. I'm like, you better win. Let's get on it. You know, and sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Hey, you know what? It's a pixel tank game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, my friends. Yeah. And on that note, did you see the video? I think somebody made it. I don't think Skill or QB made it. Somebody took the recordings from the streams. They actually met in a battle. Did you guys see that?
No.
Yeah.
No, that would be cool.
Yeah. And Quickie was anonymous.
He does that because it's Monica's quick fingers, isn't it? And
I believe so. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Did you see it? I believe Quickie was anonymous, and I think Skill was not. Right?
Wow, that would be awesome. You just see that going off, man. Wow, got to check that out. I'm gonna have a look, see if we can find it.
And it was two good players. Whatever you think of Quickie, everyone knows Skill's good. Quickie's pretty damn good himself. And they were both at the end of the battle. They both got to the end of the battle.
On opposite sides.
They did, and so Quickie was running an E25, and Skill was in a Conqueror gun carriage.
Right, get out, man!
Yeah. No, sorry.
Brilliant.
Sorry, Churchill. Churchill.
Yeah.
The even worse, the goofy TD, which I appreciated. He had 3 marked. Mine's 3 marked as well.
Yeah.
So it was worth watching. It was very interesting. At the end of it, Quickie finally noticed it was Skill, and he did mention it. I don't know if he mentioned his name. I think he did, actually. I think he said, "Oh, I didn't know that was Skill," or something like that.
All right.
But Skill went to a spot I don't think I would have gone to, and I hadn't really thought about it, but it was actually a great move because he had everything covered and he was completely. There's some bushes at the back edge of airfield.
Oh, okay, all right.
And he was on the. Let me think of how that map looks. I think he was on the west side, I believe. So he was in the bushes in the very back, right behind the cap. There isn't an equivalent on the other side. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There is a little hill, sniper hill, you can hide up on with some bushes. So that's sort of similar. But for covering the approaches, generally people will be up on the sniper hill over on the west side. But he was in some bushes that was to me a bit unexpected. But as I looked at him, I'm like, well, shit, this is the perfect place to be.
Right.
And as it turns out, it was because Quickie was pretty. It was great because the guy was moving back and forth between the two, and you could hear them both talking about what they're doing. You're like, well, that makes sense. Yep. And Quickie made an approach. He killed Denardi, and then he sort of kept coming, like he was charging hard forward. And it switched over to Skill, and Skill was like, oh, it looks like that E25 is coming around the corner. And then when he went dark, Quickie knew that. He spun around and went the other way. And Skill sat there for a second. He goes, okay, I guess he's not coming that way. He's probably going to try. I mean, they were both. They were both like, you know what I mean. So it was cool to see two players end game because that's where you go from 50 to 55 or higher.
Yeah.
50 and above. Each increment, you get better and better at that mid to late game.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of decision making things. It's little things like that.
Yeah.
You know.
It's we always say this. It's not only just map awareness, but team awareness and individual player awareness. So you see a player, you take note of it, whatever it's doing over on that side of the map. You take note of that because that could be effective against what you're trying to do later on in game. It's about thinking forward 15 minutes, isn't it? You know.
I mean, I will give Quickie credit. He said it. He said, "I'm trying to win." He's like, you know. So he did get aggressive, which you would do in an E25, and it's an E25 versus a Churchill gun carrier. So you do have that advantage, but it was just him at that point.
Yeah.
Did it get down to 1v1 or was there an Artie? No, there was an Artie on. There was an Artie on Quickie's team actually. It was Skill V2, right? I believe so. But I will give Quickie credit. I mean, he was trying to win. He did have the better tank, but he was, I think, 1v2 at the time. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good video. It was interesting to see the two guys thinking about what they're thinking. I thought they both played pretty well.
That gives you an insight on how their minds work when they're operated, doesn't it? It gives you and it gives you that take, that 6 against 6 sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think they both played well, and Skill won, and Skill's a better player.
Oh yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
I mean, they're both great players. Skill's just ridiculous.
Well, I've never known a guy play this game and have no focus on what's happening. He will stroke his cat, I don't know, smoke his thingy, whatever it is, the vape.
That's what kills me about him.
He doesn't even focus on the game. He just looks over, does a shot.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. You'll see him lean back while something's going. He'll be like,
yeah, and then
he'll make a shot, and then he's like,
how do you do that?
I'm vaping off a USB.
I've noticed,
just for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
I am with you, El Skinto. I don't have any issue with one or the other. I mean, it's hard to have an issue with Skill. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I can't watch a lot of either one of them.
No.
Some of the...
I like to dip into both of them, but I don't I don't follow either, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes Skill's language and stuff, things he talks about, I can do without a lot of it. But for good gameplay, no problem. Yeah, there you go, Diablo.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, skill's just better. So I mean, if you're time managing, and you just want top gameplay, you're going to Skill.
Yeah.
I will say, Quickie does dig into the game a lot in terms of other things that are going on, specials and events, and stuff like missions, things like that. You might get a little more out of Quickie on some of that stuff.
Yeah, informational, quite good.
I can fly the fighter and talk. I wouldn't be allowed to vape. I wouldn't be allowed to vape though.
You couldn't get it over your mask. You'd be like that. I can't get it in my mask.
Yeah, Doctor Who, there is some of that blaming thing going on. I try to avoid that. I do it on occasion. I try to keep it more to sport bitching, where you know what I mean. You try to, how do I put this? When you're streaming and you're complaining, it has to be more in the joking manner, as opposed to, well, the only reason I'm losing is because of my teams. Because I've streamed enough and had enough bad days streaming that's probably not really it. It's probably me.
It's probably Pilgrim. Whenever you platoon with Pilgrim, it's always Pilgrim's fault because I didn't provide you the extra
I forgot
armor
about that. It is your fault.
It is my fault. I should be providing you that extra layer of armor that my tank is used for, because it's never used for anything else. Just to exactly. Yes, exactly. I am your Chobham armor, sir.
Your Hobbiton armor.
Hobbiton armor.
Hobbiton
and I never
armor.
position myself in the right place for you to be able to use it. I always die over there where it's no good.
Your gameplay has improved, man.
It has come on since playing with you, I must admit. Thank you very much for
man.
that.
Absolutely.
It's gone from 49%. I mean, win rate isn't everything, but it's starting to creep up. It definitely is. It's gone from 49 to 52, just being part of the crew. You know what I mean?
El Skinto, I hope that after you got a nice reaction from your team that you yelled at them or something to kind of get back on balance.
Oh, yeah. You can't have that. Just shut up, the lot of you. You morons.
I've watched a little of Kaz Jew. He's not, he's all right. Great attitudes, good, and explains the game. QB seldom gives away great tips on gameplay. That's hard. I try to do that, but I often sort of get you. So this is a flying thing as well. It's really anything that requires a lot of concentration. When you get task saturated, everything else falls away. And one of the first things, and it's a known thing, one of the first things that falls away is communication.
Yeah.
So as task saturation gets higher, generally your communication goes down because you're concentrating. So if I'm really silent or mumbling, you know I'm task saturated and I'm busy. But it is a skill, not a skill LTU for LTU, but a skill to be able to play a game like this that does require concentration and to continue talking. I'm better at it than I used to be. Yeah. I learned some of that instructing flying fighters because you're doing a lot of things and you're instructing at the same time. But generally, you're in the back seat, so you're not. You know, the poor kid, the student.
You're not focused as a pilot.
Yeah, the student up front is doing most of that, but you've got to pay attention so he doesn't screw something up, and you're doing the instructing thing.
Yeah.
So it is a skill to be able to do that. So you see these guys like Skill or Quickie, really, they're just sort of cruising around talking and doing their thing. I do okay with it. Hey, Stoic, what's going on?
Stoic in the house.
Thanks, El Skinto. That's what I try to do. I will tell you about, so that's always been something that bothered me about content creators, especially ones that wanted to get so insistent on what's good, what's bad, and what you should do. I try to stay away from that to a large extent and try to look at it from as many angles as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is about any tank, it's personal preference. You know, I mean, anybody can roll out, this is the best tank in blah, 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 blah. But actually, I mean, one of the tanks that I struggle with a lot of tanks, but one of the tanks is the Skirder. I can play auto loads and auto reloaders quite well, but the Skirder just knocks me backwards. I think I've only got 38% win rate in it. I'm just abysmal in the Skirder.
Yeah.
And yet, it's a great tank. Everybody loves it, you know? So I think it's very, very much personal.
Well, I also enjoy learning from you guys. You know, people are in chat and they'll send me tips and say, hey, your equipment's in the wrong slot. And I'm like, oh, crap. And, you know, that kind of stuff. Or, hey, did you know you could do this or that or go there and all that stuff.
Isenberg makes a good point, right? Now, I used to race motorcycles, amateur racing, 600cc. And invariably, the way to chill yourself out and get in the zone is to chew gum, because it relaxes your jaw muscles, so you're not tensed up. So you chew gum. But yeah, maybe we should chew gum when playing World of Tanks, so you're not going like this. I just chew gum. So I think Heisenberg's got a secret there.
Yeah, yeah. Diablo. I can do without with some of the things some of the stuff he says. To be quite honest, but yeah, it is. He does do some funny stuff as well. 100%. I don't have a problem with him. I mean, people do what they want to do. Lemming Rush. My problem with Lemming Rush is his language is like. Not that I'm a. If I'm around my friends or whatever, I can
Time and place, though, mate.
fighter pilot. I can drop it like you want, but man, oh man, Lemming Rush. Like,
yeah, no, yeah, maybe not.
I don't know if he's even doing vids anymore. Is he, Gator?
Oh, good point.
Then started throwing tantrums.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diablo. Actually, I watched a couple of his Kim stuff, and I that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, this guy is definitely able to put stuff together well and use all the editing stuff, and yeah, I like Talgrim. I've actually have several platoons, and I made several videos with Talgrim. He was a great player. I did enjoy Talgrim.
No, Stoic. Don't bring that into the mix, because there's no learning to go on there. If you haven't learned about them by the time
Is she still around? Is she still around?
I haven't. Well,
I haven't seen her for a while.
No.
I don't know if she's moved on to another game. I'd imagine.
No, or something else. No.
Dr. Corman, I sort of felt that way myself. I've watched Klaus a couple times on stream. I wouldn't say for me. It's not necessarily boring, but he can get really. He can get kind of negative at times. I know I do that too, especially if I get mad. That's why when I start bitching too much, I can usually tell it's at hour 3 or 4. Sometimes I get a little. Sometimes it's less. Sometimes it's more. But as soon as I start crying too much, it's time for me to get going. Because some people like to watch people rage and get mad, but I don't want to be that guy that rages and gets mad. Gets mad. It's
Mads over.
Mads. I'm so mad. Destructive Dan, how are you, man?
Destructive Dan, how do you do? Yeah. You know what? I mean, each of the streamers have their own foibles and their own way of dealing with it and everything else, and good on them. And as a player, I'll pick and choose something that I want to educate myself on. So yeah, Skill or QB and even Klaus and you, Guido, and a few others. I'll just pop in, and if I see something I like and I need to understand, I'll go and watch it. But generally,
I like trolling around. I've been thinking about doing a video on this. We might as well just kind of talk about it today. Anyway, I don't know about you guys, but do you ever go to the bottom of the streamer list and start poking around and see if there's anybody new, anyone new that's sort of interesting down there?
Yeah, I'm going to the recommended channels and have a look at that.
I'm going to tell you. Here's so you guys tell me if this is true or what yours are. My what word I'm looking for? My auto no is no camera. They have to have a camera.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I think it's because if I'm going to be entertained to watch something, I sort of want to see what how they interact. I don't know why that's a big deal, but I generally don't look at anyone that doesn't have a camera. Is anybody else like that?
Who's the guy that does it from the back and he's never seen his face?
Des.
I mean, I like Des, but I do get annoyed by that.
I don't know why he does that like that. Has he ever said why he does that?
No, I've not. No, why?
He's got a cool setup. He's got it's kind of cool. He's got all the stuff going on. I will tell you why I don't do that. I would be terrified that I'd put some personal information up on something.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the next thing I know, somebody would crawl through the internet and get into my house and rob me. Is that how it works?
Well, I Jingles was the one, right?
That's
Jingles. It is how it works. Jingles.
It's 8. It's 8. Hold on. Not to interrupt you, even though I'm interrupting you.
No, you interrupt me all day long, mate. It's about to start.
It's not started though. I don't see it.
It hasn't started yet, has it?
What the? What am I missing here? Anyway, go with what you're saying. Somebody else let us know when it happens.
Jingles did a stream, and his computer was down under his desk, and it had his IP address written out on a label stuck to the top of his computer. And I was like texting him like mad, going, "Jingles, your IP address is showing. Jingles!" It's like ignoring me completely. I was going, "Your IP address is showing, mate. Get off it, get off it." And he's like, and then he clicked. He went, "Oh no, that's all right. That's an old one." I went, "Okay," dude. But he had everybody panicking. It was quite funny.
Why can't I
coming on, is it?
make this large? I don't understand what's going on with this. IP. So you're saying Dez wants to stay anonymous? That is interesting.
I'm not knocking him for it. I'm just saying it. Just for me, I'm like, I don't want to watch you too much, Dez, because I'll just see the back of your head, dude. You know?
What the hell?
I like it. I like a bit of interaction, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like I said, that's a non-starter. That's the word I was looking for. Non-starter for me. If they don't have a camera, I'm kind of. But I will dig around and try to find. And it's, going back to your everyone's got their own shtick. It is fascinating to me watching some of the people who are trying to stream, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
McGarrett has to leave us to go shopping, bless him. House General must have shouted.
Who did?
McGarrett.
Right on, McGarrett. Take care, man. Thanks for coming by. Much appreciated. Having internet issues. Okay.
There you go. It's starting now.
In 23 minutes.
Started.
23 minutes.
It just started.
No, it didn't.
No, it's starting.
I mean, it started, but it says starting in 23. Hey, so are you accruing time while you're sitting and looking at the starting screen?
I would imagine you would do, wouldn't you?
Zimbo, that's a great question, man. I'll tell you how my workaround. We're actually on a Discord call.
Yeah.
We're on a Discord call, and I have just enough OBS skill. I have taken both the cameras. I actually make it go full screen, and then I put those two sources in OBS, and then I crop them so it's just the camera. So I have his camera and my camera, and that's how I do it.
Right.
I've
got no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, I'll go with that.
There is a restream thing. I can't remember what it's called. That you can do it, and I know that Tragic says it's easier for her to manipulate and do things with, but I have a hard time making it work. I've tried it several times, and it's one of those things that's not the impossible dream. I just gave up on it because this works. I would have to do something like that if I wanted to bring more people in. I know that like Damien and 13 Disciple and Goose use that system so that they can bring everyone's camera in from different places. Just basically, it streams over the internet your camera as well.
Well, that's what Wargaming do when they do their, they got Tragic and Commander AF and somebody else. They obviously use that. For us, I mean, that's the reason why when we stream, when you do your stream during the weekday and I jump in, we just stick to voice because it means mess about with Discord and everything else, doesn't it? So, and there's no point in putting this ugly mug up on a Friday afternoon, put people off the weekend.
Yeah.
They might have my back for Sunday.
So that's another thing, and I talked about this. I made a video several years ago talking about getting started with streaming and stuff. Maybe I probably need to do another update, but what Diablo just said, too much work sometimes. It sometimes feels like that. Now I know for like Skill, Quickie, Dez, all the guys that you see with thousands or hundreds of viewers, it definitely has to feel that way. Yeah. Damien went full time fairly recently. I think it's Damien. I know Goose still works. So yeah. Goose streams a lot and he's working.
Yeah.
Damien, I think his wife, I'm pretty sure Damien's wife also works, but he went full-time streaming.
Yeah.
I think QB's wife is a lot of the technical help as well and does stuff.
Yeah.
But it is. If that's your full-time job, it is a job. So now you got to be on, right? You're always your camera's on, and I run into that stuff. I don't stream much in the evenings because I'm just tired from working and I don't feel like, and I'm not really. It's not that I'm in a bad mood. I'm just not. I'm not, where I should be for streaming. If somebody wants to
Yeah,
watch
you've got to have a public persona, and that's got to be maintained. You can't come on here having had a bad day in real life.
Right. Nobody wants to
friend.
see that kind of stuff,
No.
right? And and it bleeds through either way. But yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. That's why I generally like to make my videos mid-morning to early afternoon.
Yeah.
Oftentimes in the evening, I'll have a beer or two, so I don't want to get into that whole thing. It's not that I'm stumbling around or anything stupid. It's just I don't really want to do that at that time.
No.
But it's an interesting state.
When you're having a beer, you're having that relaxation. Why are you putting yourself into a position that is different? You know, when you stop work and you go and do your evening thing, you do your evening thing. Don't drag streaming into that. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. I'd be like, I'm having a barbie with the family. Why am I dragging streaming into it? You know what I mean?
And that's mostly because I still work. I mean, a lot of the guys do stream at night, so they probably their whole day is structured if that's their job, like Quickie and Skill. Their whole day is structured around that, and then they go to work and they play the game and do their videos and make their content and do all the things that they've got to do.
Quickie Baby does most of his streaming in pajamas. So
I meant Apple Juice, Kedge. I meant Apple Juice. Good morning, Red Ferris. How are you? Welcome to the show, guys. We've been at it for an hour. We're going to take a 5-minute break. So 5-minute break. I need to go. I need more coffee. As you can see, I'm out. So you guys go make another coffee.
Out as well.
We have a few more subjects to touch on. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, chuck it down in chat. But give us 5 minutes, and we will be right.
That's cool.
All right, guys, we are back. We are back. All right, so where were we? Oh yeah, we're talking about streamers and stuff.
Yeah.
Been meaning to do another video going through some of the up and coming streamers and whatnot and going over it, but there's quite a few good ones. Let's see who's up right now. Old Man the Wise, you guys should check out him. Was it 53? Okay.
You see, win rate is a figure you can use to gauge your level in the game, but I wouldn't tie it against your skill in the game or anything else. I think win rate is very dependent on what you do as much as what your team does.
Yeah.
I think if you look at win 8, that gives you a more personalised stat that you can use about your effectiveness in the game.
So yes, Steel Guts, absolutely. Damien, I agree with you, and he's definitely getting better. But I don't think Damien. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I don't think Damien worries too much about being the greatest. But he is probably. I don't even know. Maybe Goose's stream is as fun, but Damien's is hilarious sometimes. Damien absolutely. I mean, that's an entertaining guy, and he just and like he just keeps rolling. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
He's probably funny as hell in real life, man. So I do like watching him. I do like watching Goose's. Steel Guts is a great LT player.
Yeah.
And he's super chill and a good dude.
Yeah.
Who else we got? We got Orzanel is good. I don't watch him very much, but I know he's a good player. What else? Just people I know here. I'm seeing who's up and running. Now everyone else is kind of small guys. Old Man the Wise, like I said, Quinetic. I forgot about Quinetic.
Yeah, he's down at Tankfest at the moment.
Yeah, so check out Quinetics is good. And both him and Old Man are actually getting quite a following. Both those guys are past me, but they have regular schedules and stream all the time.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm not big, because I don't stream very much.
Because you have a bespoke audience. You are like Fortnum and Mason's bespoke grocer to the Queen. You are. You're not just Walmart. You're not just Walmart.
The elite. Yes. No, but that's actually a thing, right? So for this gig, especially if you're going to make it your gig, you have to have a regular schedule.
Yeah.
And you should probably stream at prime time in whatever region it is you're trying to catch. Absolutely. And you need to do all those things. That's just how it is, you know.
Yeah.
And I stream once a week. We do this once a week, and maybe I get another one with playing tanks once a week.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think also, I'm not being funny, but also there's a level-headedness about your streams. Well, apart from the time when you get salty, but there's a level-headedness, and sometimes people like a little bit of, a little bit of Klaus, a little bit of Quickie Baby.
Yeah, and we have a laugh once in a while, but you're not. Like Damien has all the voices and stuff. Exactly. I'm not going to be able to do that.
We're not doing that. No, we ain't doing that, buddy.
Guido's niche is old and unemployed.
Yeah.
Sometimes both. Retired, right? Hold on.
Yeah, exactly. See, you've got the English sidekick.
Is retired just another word for unemployed?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. No, you guys are awesome, man. I enjoy it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's my hobby, so being able to kind of make the hobby, monetize it a little bit. Let's just be honest, get a little bit of money out of it, be able to buy the computer, buy the stuff for the stream. All the money I've made off this, I've put back into it. Especially near Christmas,
you put it into the new computer and everything. It's like
new computer. Doodads for the computer. The Christmas we gave away a bunch of stuff at Christmas. To plan on doing that again.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Oh crikey!
Oh yeah.
All right then.
No, you don't. No, you never have to do any of this. You go overboard, my friend. You go overboard.
No, it's cool.
All right, let's talk tanks for just a second. Let's go look at 1.17.1, which is coming up.
Yeah, let's do that,
my friends.
We should mention Watchick, actually. You're right.
Oh, yeah, Watchick. Shit, forgot about her.
Yeah.
You know who I haven't seen forever, and I guess she's dropped out of stream or whatever, is Grinny.
Yeah, I've been on her Discord server. Doesn't seem very active, so I don't know what's happening.
So I don't know if she's just got bored with it or moved on or what
Yeah.
happened with Granny, but she was a hoot, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so Common Test 1.17.1 seems to have some frontline changes as one of the main things, so it's available for preliminary testing. The progression system has changed a bit on it. And I think so I'm taking credit for this, even though I'm sure a lot of people have said the same thing. Remember the discussion where we talked about the rewards for a lot of these other modes? They did a good thing in taking away these super awesome tanks and things where you felt like you had to play. But then they dialed back the rewards so much that people really don't kind of want to play.
Yeah, exactly, because it was just too much.
Right, but I think they're now ramping up the rewards just a little bit. So I think that's a good idea. We'll see what it looks like, but that seems to be what they're talking about for Common Test 1. List of changes here is mostly frontline stuff. So there's some things in there, guys, for frontline. I'm assuming for the next iteration when it comes out. And that's all I can see in 1.17.1 is frontline stuff. Interesting, right? That's not much.
Yeah, no, it's not much. Battle Pass. Battle Pass point's still connected to it, isn't it?
It is.
List of changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see anything else. Rental vehicles.
Yeah, CMG. I saw you in game the other day there, CMG. I don't remember which one it was, but I did recognize it. Tank
Second
Fest.
bracket is in 10 minutes' time.
24,000 viewers. Everyone's trying to get a tank. Look at that. So, has my drop thing advanced? It has.
Yeah, I got drops, thank you.
Yeah, I'm already at 46% for the Tank Fest thing.
I got drops for you, but I don't know.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the weekend thing is still on for the rest of us. But you have to be on the Tank Fest one for the Tank Fest drops.
Yeah.
She said in her video it wasn't big, Meldeeth. Okay, there you go. Another data point. Nice. So we got that going on. Steel Hunter. Let's look at this because I thought this was kind of interesting. There's an AMA for Steel Hunter for one of the devs, and it is here. It is. So, will Steel Hunter be available as a permanent mode with or without upgrades? Currently working towards. We have a few ideas. Currently collecting all the data. They're like robots with the data. Answer.
Yeah,
it's like beep boop, more data. Beep beep boop, beep boop, more data. You ask a fairly straightforward question.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a permanent mode? Well, no, it's not right now. That's the answer.
End of. What? Yeah, exactly.
Right now, no. I don't know. Something. Beep, boop, data, boop, beep, boop, boop. Okay. So, I love this. So, it's a mystery even to us. Really? Is it? It's a mystery to you?
Keep things up.
Are you not the developer? I mean,
they're trying to create this atmosphere of what's it all about?
But this is something in industry, any industry, that they teach their talking heads is to not answer questions.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Politicians do it a lot.
Oh, no way, Cliffy. Oh, no.
No!
I wasn't going to try to get into that myself, but that's funny.
That is funny.
Speaking of strongholds, tournament stream yesterday, Orznell won. They rated them and each trashed them home.
Good man.
Holy shit. That did not go the way we expected. That's like Will Ferrell. I did not expect that.
The Reactors Critical says, never played Steel Hunter. What do I do with 1,200 Steel Seals I got for watching the stream? I don't know.
Orznell was second. Okay, Orznell was second. All right. All right. So there's a loot question. All right, this one cracked me up. Why do all strong Steel Hunter tanks start very slow and sluggish, unlike tanks in random mode? Depends on the class. Oh wait, that's not the question I wanted. Hold on, let me find it here. Where is it? All right, this is the follow-up I want. So that as you know, in Steel Hunter, whether you played it or not, what happens is there's power-ups and your tank gets stronger. That's the idea. When will Raven be balanced? The tank is the strongest in Steel Hunter meta now. That's coming from the players.
Okay.
Players don't say a tank is the strongest and then play it all the time and win with it and lie about it.
No.
Right? It is the strongest tank.
Yeah.
That's why
what they're telling me.
That's why it's meta.
Yeah.
So whatever you think you've designed is all fine. Yeah. Whatever your intentions are, whatever your thoughts for how your mode is going to be played, none of that matters if all the players are playing the Raven because it is strongest in the meta. That is now an established fact.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Bro, it's a fact. Everyone's playing it. They know it's the strongest. They have a lot of games doing it.
Yeah.
Your intentions don't matter anymore.
No, whatever. They don't
matter.
It isn't what it is anymore.
So the answer is, they're like, hey, when's it going to be balanced? Seems a fairly straightforward question.
Of course.
As a follow-up to the previous question where we mentioned the different phases of the battle, okay, we monitor the stats over all these phases. Beep, boop, beep, boop. This has so far confirmed the Raven's design and uniqueness in that it stays sustainable in all phases of the battle. If you look at statistics, it's a flat line from the beginning to the end by its chances of winning.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Did that answer the question? Let me think about this.
So, it may be, Mr. Designer Guy, that while looking at the way you look at your stats, the flatline tank is the overpowered one.
Now, wouldn't that be strange? Yeah, maybe.
Beep, boop, beep, boop. It has confirmed the Raven's design and uniqueness. It stays sustainable in all phases. It's a flat line. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an op tank.
Cobra, the answer is word salad.
Yeah. Yeah. It is so much word salad.
How is that? That's... What? The rest of it's just about details and platooning and some other things. Ah, boy. I don't know, guys. I can't. I just can't even with some of these things with the developers. And I think I like to ask me anythings in the developer diaries and talking to them and stuff, but they refuse to give honest answers to things. And I know they're directed to do that because that's just how it works in the real world. Yeah. That's how stuff goes.
Yeah. But come back to the fact it's just a pixelated tank game. What's the harm in telling the truth? What's the harm in going, yeah, you're right, guys, the Raven is op. That's not going to change what the player base do because they already know about it, so they use it.
I know.
In the other tank.
I know. So the players come to the developer and say, look, everyone plays the Raven because it's the strongest tank. Are we going to adjust that?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, our numbers show it's the most balanced from start to finish.
Okay.
I don't know. That's not sure how that's not sure how that applies to my question.
No, that doesn't answer the question, but I'll just...
So your numbers prove it's overpowered. Great. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do about it? Beep boop.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm taking the mickey out of them. I love those guys. It's a great game. As I always say, I enjoy playing it. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy playing. And Obviously,
No.
I'm sitting here babbling about the game for 2 hours straight on a Sunday morning at 7.
Nobody does that. Nobody does that.
Who does that?
Who does that? Yeah. You got 29 seconds, guys. It's going to kick in.
But I do get to have coffee with all my friends, so that's very nice, you guys. And
That
tea.
is cool.
And tea.
Tea.
And tea.
Tea and coffee.
And we've solved many of the gaming world's problems. It's just unfortunate that nobody
We have.
listens to us.
We have the answers for an awful lot of things, but
Yeah.
nobody wants to know.
Aren't we the smartest ever?
Aren't we just? 6 seconds for Tankfest. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
it
can't
doesn't-
do it with this hand.
Tankfest doesn't matter. You're already getting your drop
Yeah.
movement, so who cares? I'm already 76%. Look at these two
there you
guys.
Look at him. Look at him. That's a cracking head on the left, isn't it? It's as good as mine. That one.
What on earth? Where'd all his hair go?
I don't know.
You see it
It's
sliding down the side. No, I'm just kidding. Who we got? We got Richard Smith. That's a director.
Richard Smith
okay.
and Richard Cutland. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're both Bovington guys.
Yeah, the two dicks they get called.
Is that true? Is that true? Oh, that's fantastic.
The two dicks. Good lads.
Good lads. Right on, man. That's awesome. All right, so I think that's about all I've got. Unless you guys have a
Oh, I've
competition.
got a very, very, very quick Bovington competition.
Okay.
So it's for 500 gold. Here we go. One message. Oh, by the way, I've chopped the top of my finger.
Hey, let me answer Blues Traveler's question real
Go on,
quick because go watch it, dude. Because there are a bunch of drops. All you got to do is watch 2 hours. You can put it in the background, and you have a chance of getting free tanks and some premium time and some other stuff. So there's a good drop program. That's the answer there, Blues. You definitely want to watch it. Just leave your computer on, turn it on, mute it if you don't want to watch it necessarily, and off you go. All right, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm 2% away from claiming something by the sounds of it. Anyway, so it's one question, one answer. Lost the top of my finger.
Just
by the way.
FYI, you have a much better chance of winning something on my channel right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
you could win Pilgrim's competition as well.
That's what
One
I'm
question.
saying. 75 people in your competition.
They are.
right.
You've got a better odds.
I'm done interrupting you now, all right? Are you going to talk about your finger?
Do I need to? I chopped the top of it off.
You should have seen the other guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, you can see the difference. And do you know what?
Huh.
What happened was the whole pad there just detached itself from my finger due to me putting it into a gate. Don't ask why.
Does it
just
hurt
did.
when you're dragging it across the mouse pad?
Well, no, because I'm English. When you drink your tea, you do the little finger. I'm used to having the little finger cocked, so it's fine.
Oh, so when you have your mouse, the one finger's like up in the air?
Yeah, that one.
Okay,
Always
gotcha.
is. I'm English. Of course it is.
All right.
You drink your tea like that, don't you?
See,
anyway.
now Eighth Hustlers is after me, all right?
Yep. He was giving him the finger. So I stuck the pad back on and then called for the medic at work.
Was it
the
flappy?
First aider. It was flappy. It was hanging down. So I just pushed it back into the hole like you do.
Did
I
it
just got a drops claim from World of Tanks.
did
I
it
think.
squirt? Or was it
Yeah,
capillary?
It was definitely
Oozing?
arterial.
Ooh.
It was arterial, so I had to do the tourniquet down the bottom.
Ooh.
So then I pushed the pad back on, walked to the first aider and went, I've got a problem, let go. And it went, and he went, blood. It was wretched. I was like, you're the first aider. Wait, hang on. You're the first aider. What? Do I need to, So he goes, I've got a plaster. I went, have you not seen this? Anyway, long story cut short, didn't bother with stitches, stuck it back in, put a bandage on and everything else, and I've been changing the dressings every day now.
Well,
I'm
the bandage is one of the rewards. The used bandage.
There you go. You can have a used bandage.
You get
It's one of
Pilgrim's
the
DNA.
prizes.
Pilgrim's DNA. All right.
Yeah, we do like that. Anyway, competition. Let's get this over and done with. One question, one answer. So Wayne, you don't even have to give three answers. One question, one answer. Here you go. What year was Bovington built? In what year was Bovington, the camp where Tankfest is built? Wiki fingers at the ready.
Whoa.
What year was Bovington built?
Toyful already threw out a date in seconds.
No, it
No,
ain't right. That's
no,
not
okay.
right. No, not even 1963, not 1957, not 1964. Come on, guys, you can do better than that. Wiki fingers at the go. What year was it built? Oh, it's got nothing to do with tanks, guys. That's why you're doing these dates, because you think it's about tanks. 1066. Close.
Oh.
Blues Traveller, you've got it, my friend. You've got it. 1899.
1899.
Blues Traveller, in-game name and server, my friend, and I'll send you 500 gold. Just send me a whisper, buddy. Lots of pilgrims. You'll find me there somewhere. Well done, buddy. Congrats, Alfred the Great. That was close, Wayne. Yeah, would you believe 1899? Because it was originally a infantry camp, which was the Lulworth camp attached to it, and then it became the heavy machine gun camp, if you like, during the First World War, which then transpired to be the tank camp, because the heavy brigade was then classed as the tank brigade. There you go. But it was originally done as an infantry.
Is it still an active base of some kind?
Yeah. Lulworth camp is the Royal Armoured Corps home. So they've still got, challenges and all the rest of it, and the museum is just attached to that.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go.
And there's firing ranges there and everything. You can go down and you can get your ears blown out by big booms all day, week, every day of the week. People in Devon have gone deaf because there's lots of tanks firing away. So yeah, cool.
I heard a bunch of
got it, Blues. Thank you.
I heard a bunch of banging out there. Apparently, the dog has decided to get her the bone out and smash it onto the wood floor.
Oh, bless.
She does that every once in a while. It's the funny half hour, the morning version of the funny half hour.
Yeah, cool. Blues, I'll sort that out today, mate. Well done.
Doctor Who says it looks like Dad's army so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, too. But military installation there, as old as me, you're right, my BMW, as old as me. I was born around 1899, I believe, according to my parents, who have now long gone, bless them.
They have some kind of tracked vehicle right behind them right now. What is that?
They do, don't they? What's that looking like?
Is that a modern?
That'll be something like an armoured infantry fighting.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah, though there's a little looks like a German wheeled vehicle.
Oh, that's a Scout or a Fox, one of the two.
Oh, is that one of yours?
Yeah, it's a British Fox.
Oh, really?
And then you've got the ubiquitous 4-ton vehicle at the back.
Yeah.
Bedford 4-ton. Yeah, I think that's a Fox. No, I could be wrong actually. But it's
Isn't that a German? Aren't they doing some reenactment thing?
Oh, they may.
Look at the guys all positioned around. They got an AT gun.
Yeah, look at that running around with a big gun.
Yeah. Oh, there's a guy. He's carrying his mortar. Is that a mortar or is that a bazooka? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
It appears to be heavy.
Panzerfaust.
Might be a Panzerfaust. I don't know.
It appears to be heavy.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Well, guys, if you got any parting shots, anything we need to talk about, I believe they offer up rides in the 131. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Next year, we'll have Guido sat in the commander's hatch of the 131. How about that?
Dude, I got a drop. What'd you get?
I haven't checked it. I've got a drop. I'll go and have a look.
All right, I got... Oh, it told me. I got premium consumables.
Let me have a look.
So I got
premium. I got premium consumables.
Oh no, that's the auto one. That's the auto. Yeah. That's the one you get. So then we got mystery drop 1, 2, and 3.
I am halfway there to the.
Do you guys all know how to do that, right? Everyone who's watching. Let me show you guys this. There's no personal info on that. Let me double check. I don't think there is.
If he wants a clipboard. Well, that one. Or the one on World of Tanks.
So how you do this, you probably all know this. Now, actually, I've got it chopped. Let's see if I can get this over here. There we go. I gotta look higher here. There we go. All right, so you come up here to your little symbol in the top right up here. It's right there. Click on that. Come down to the drops right there. Click on that, and then here's where they'll all be. So that said claim now. You got to click on claim now, and then you can see how far along you are on the mystery drops right there. So that's how you do it. FYI, and most of you, if not all, know how to do that. But there you go, in case you were curious. Yeah, Kedge, thanks for coming, guys. Cliffy, my poor eyes. Yeah, my Twitch channel is dark mode, but I guess I haven't, or my Twitch whatever the hell it's called. I don't know.
I don't know. It's technical. What
It's
the-
dashboard. That's what it's called. Dashboard.
Yeah, cheers, Moss.
Brave
Thanks,
Racer
everybody.
18.
Brave
Thanks,
Racer.
man. Thanks for the nom nom and the Doritos chips. Oh, that sounds delicious, actually.
Doesn't it? Yeah, I'm feeling quite hungry now.
All right, you guys have a good one. What Pilgrim and I are going to actually do is go mess around with DayZ for a little bit.
We are.
Get me up on a server that he found, and hopefully we'll get you some content going. Oh, here's something slightly unrelated. There is a Steam sale on right now, guys. So
Yes,
if you're
there
looking
is.
for games at a discount, there's a Steam sale. I often miss those because I'm not always jumping around into Steam. Yeah, we need to stream DayZ, Pilgrim and I. We will do that. We're going to get set up on a kind of funky server that's got all kinds of crazy stuff on it.
It'll be PVE initially just to get a feel for it, but
Yeah.
we might drop into a PvP at some point. We shall see.
9060M, it should. Actually,
Yeah, easily.
DayZ doesn't take a whole lot.
No.
It's a bit of an older... It's Arma, is that right?
Arma 2, yeah.
Arma 2. So if
Yeah.
you can run Arma 2 or something of that nature, you'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
That's right. July 12th to 13th on Prime Day, they're planning on giving away a bunch of games for free. So check that out as well.
Cool. Check it out.
All right, cool, guys. That is all I've got from the left side of the Atlantic.
And it's Pilgrim signing off from the correct side of the Atlantic.
Thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you next week. Like I said, Friday for my next stream, and then, of course, next Sunday. Latest.